Hello again, everyone. Welcome back to the series where I talk about all the games I've played in the previous month. The month for this video is June of 2023, and it's a pretty big one, so let's just get right into it. I like to try to keep it somewhat in order, so I'll try to restrain myself. I've been playing quite a bit of Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart. I think I'm like halfway through, according to the PS5's weird little progress tracking thing that I don't understand fully. I like it. I think I actually might have talked about this last month, but I don't believe I was far into it. I'm enjoying it a lot more than I did. I have to acknowledge it has some great things about it. It's just the things I don't like a lot of modern games, nobody can shut the fuck up. I swear I was in one arena thing and you had like Zircon Jr. I think was he would not stop screaming at you. Like it was relentless. He was just screaming in this high pitched voice, everything you do. And then I got outside. I swear I walked literally like 10 steps and one of the characters was just there like, "Oh, you've been kind of quiet. Is something wrong?" That is what this game is like. 10 seconds of silence and somebody's concerned. Do I need to say more? And they tend to repeat the same boss fight like 5 times so far. I don't get it. Why? But other than that, there are a lot of things I'm enjoying about it. The gameplay is really fun and satisfying. The Rift gun is pretty cool. The story is even pretty interesting. Thankfully, they keep Doctor Nefarious out of it for the most part. So, you know what? Not as good as the first ones or one. But before we move on, I have played. I have gone back on Twitch playing through the PS2 version, the very original. Not only do I think it's better than Rift Apart, it holds up so much better than I expected. With Rift, it's hard not to compare them because I'm playing them so back to back. Rift Apart, I don't think I laughed once. I might have had a chuckle. With the original, I am bursting out laughing out loud. Like 2 or 3, like when I'd be playing for like 2 or 3 hours, about 6 or 7 times every go, every cutscene. They can be so great with it. The emotional scenes hit harder, the funny scenes hit harder, the characters are just feel so much better. What the fuck happened? It was so good. Like, I get it. A franchise is going on for like 20 years. It's not going to maintain the same quality 100% of the time. I get that. What happened? But what the fuck happened to this franchise? It's both a joy to go back to and a bit sad. I genuinely think the PS2 games are better than these in pretty much every conceivable way. But that's just me. Even the tutorials are done so much better. But yeah, moving on. A game I've gotten unbelievably sucked into in ways I could have never expected is Pool Blitz, a free PS5 game. It's pool. It's pool, but with more of a random loot box mechanic kind of thing added in for better cues, better spin. And I swear I only picked this game up on the 7th of June. Less than 20 days after this I'm recording, and I've already put 47 hours into it. That might not seem like a lot to some people for some things, but it's pool. I don't know what happened, but for some reason it's an online only game, and this has just been. I've never played any kind of snooker pool games, even though I do enjoy them. I've never played one like this. It's weirdly addicting. I'll just be sat there for like 2 or 3 hours at a time, game after game. I don't know why. I don't know what it's done to me. I love this game. Easily my favourite pool game I've ever touched. And of course, the big one for this month for me, Final Fantasy 16. I'd never pre-ordered off Amazon before, so I was genuinely nervous it wouldn't arrive on the time, but oh, it did. And it has been the only word I can use to describe this game so far. It has been a fucking spectacle in a very good way. It's been phenomenal so far. I love the combat system, which did nothing for me in the trailers. I didn't even know if I would like it. Given that it's new and obviously it's a very story focused experience, I'm not going to say too much, but overall I'm enjoying a lot about it. The only thing I can say I don't really like, and I'll get into this at some point again, is the quick time events. I think they're the worst I've ever. Genuinely, I love this game. I hate to be so upset about it, but the quick time events are some of the worst I've ever seen in my life. It's basically like this: a fist comes at you, pause. Thing comes up on the screen for like 10 seconds, and if you press the button at that time, it comes up, it works. I swear, an old like you could give it to your grandmother who's never touched a game in her life and tell her to play the quick time events, and she'd be able to do it just fine. She's like, oh, which one's square? Oh, that one. Boop. Not exaggerating, I swear. If you're going to do quick time events, either do the quick time events or don't. Don't do this. It almost feels patronizing. It's like, yeah, you're playing the game. Yeah, don't you see? You press square. You did that. Not only does it not work for me, it actively works against the cutscenes. I don't know. I hate it. I don't know why. It's really rattled me in ways I couldn't expect. But what can you do? And you'd be tapping square, and I honestly think that can be one of the best ways to make a kind of a clash seem really, really like a real struggle. Like when two blades each other are trying to push them like against each other. I think it can work great. But unfortunately, it just slows it down. It has honestly the ugliest interface when you're tapping square. I can't stand it. It's the worst implementation I've ever seen. And I am not against QuickTime events, but that's enough of that. Other than that, you know what? It is a genuinely beautiful game. There's an area called like Martha's Nest, or I think it's called, can't remember the exact name. Honestly, one of the most beautiful areas I've ever seen in a game. When you stand in that area with the greenery around you and the music playing, it's easy just to forget all these flaws and just kind of linger. The amount of times I just stood still and kind of just panned around in a circle and taking screenshots, taking pictures, taking videos. I love the look for some of this game. I don't even like playing it with the in the daytime because I don't like the little bit of shine on my TV because it's right over there. That's how much I'm loving a lot of this game. But that's my only complaint. And honestly, the battles can be a bit too easy, but certain things might fix that. So other than that, having a lovely time with it. I'm so glad I got it, and I'm excitedly still playing through it. Of course, I've just actually today upload the final episode. Well, on the time of recording, upload the final episode of Silent Bomber. Which, if you want to know better thoughts of that, go watch even the final episode. The last like 10 minutes even. Very conflicted game. Has some very high points. Dips to the awful a few times. Very very little of it is in between. It's either fucking amazing or terrible. But I'm glad I played it. I do think you should try it out. It's a very fun game in a lot of ways. If you can find it cheap, I 100% recommend trying it out. If you're better at it than me, it's a good way to spend 4 or 5 hours. That's all it took me. I'm not sure if that includes dying or not, but fun a kind of anime style ridiculous kind of bombing game, which is very typical for CyberConnect, and I mean that in the absolute best way. It's from the same people who made Asura's Wrath, so you can expect some over the top anime bullshit in the best possible way. And after finally finishing Atlantis The Lost Empire, I'll again at the day I'm releasing this, I will have just uploaded, or will be about to upload, Lilo and Stitch on the Game Boy Advance. It's a run and gun style Lilo and Vitch. It's a run and gun style Lilo and Stitch game, which, does that sound good? Not really. It sounds like it'd be shit, but it's actually pretty fun. But then again, I'm a very, very much a beginner of these kind of games. These aren't the kind of things I play a lot. So I do think that helped. It's probably one of the perfect for beginners kind of thing. I was kind of just played it because I'm in the kind of a Disney Saturdays kind of thing going on, I guess. Not even intentional. And I really thought I might play like one go of it, but no, I'm gonna keep going back to it. I'm having fun. And I guess I'll give a quick mention. I was playing it last month too. Atlantis had its ups and downs. Unlike Silent Bomber, it had middle parts too, but I think it's an underrated little gem. The last few levels were fucking amazing. Like the third last level just put everything you learned throughout the game to the test. The second last level was a fun, just driving forward section, and it was a okay final boss too. But yeah, it had its ups and downs, but I enjoyed it. As for stuff I've been playing on stream, I've started up one of my favorite underrated games that everybody hates but me, which is Star Fox Adventures. The game that takes you out of the cockpit into a Zelda style game. Pretty sure it was just what was like meant to be a game called Dinosaur Planet, but they just threw Star Fox on it. So I do get the hate. Out of all the games I find to be good that other people hate, this is the one I get the most, I think, why people hate it. But maybe it's because I'm not as much of a fan as the other Star Fox kind of games. It's not my kind of genre, so it's easier to enjoy this. But yeah, I'm playing through that. I'm having a great time. I played through it like 2 or 3 years ago again before now, so a lot of that is still barely lingering in my brain, and that's helping a ton to get through this faster. It's helped me not to be stuck in the same place for 4 hours again. I already mentioned Ratchet and Clank. I've been playing that too, and I just finished it a couple of days ago. So, like I said, I already mentioned it. And on the weekends, I've been playing through Kingdom Hearts 1. I'm playing through it on Proud, and honestly, I think the first half of the game, except for like a few boss fights like the Trickmaster and like Cerberus, it's relatively fine. I think up until Ursula. That's kind of the tipping point because you got stuff like Ursula, the Halloween Town stuff, Riku. Chernobog. It really is the point where the game, I think, it's the tipping point where it goes from being a relatively fine game to just torture. But it's Kingdom Hearts. It's always an absolute pleasure to go back to. One of my favorite games of all time, and I'm one of my most beaten games of all time, and it never gets old. How can you not feel like a kid again going back to Kingdom Hearts games? I don't even know. And I don't think I'm missing anything. I think that's it. And if I'm not missing anything, I think that's it. I think that's everything I've been going back through. I don't think I'm missing anything. Yeah, it's been a pretty packed. Well, I took a few days off because I was exhausted, but yeah, that's pretty much it. As always, let me know what you've been playing this month. Let me know what new stuff you played. Let me know what you've gone back to. And as always, I'll see you for the next one.